audio check. I hope there's not much of a delay. Yeah. Sorry for the echo. So, hello and welcome back everyone to the Indian Racing League. This is season 12 race around Interlagos. Beautiful, beautiful Interlagos, sunny Interlagos, as we see Wefix break the entry board there. I would like to apologize for the delay in the start of the stream. I was a bit caught up, I wasn't able to go about it. That's why we've missed the first about 5 minutes of qualifying, but I don't think that should be much of an issue as we see what an immense surprise. I don't think anybody had ever expected to see Redstone Derp on pole. What an unexpected result we've seen there. But yes, this is Interlagos, IRL, and Chief Shima here to take you through the race. Presently, I think it's going to be just myself on comms as we have come on board with Nobleguard at the perfect time going through the Curva Grande onto the Preto Posta. I believe I remember my corner names for Interlagos very well because this is one of my favorite circuits. Through Decido del Lago, the place where two lakes meet. Now going up the hill, I have forgotten these names though. Ferradura, Merulio, please forgive me in this regard. But going up the hill, this is where Carlos Sainz lost it in the main race. There's some dirt being kicked up there by Noble's Red Bull. But he's going through this slow left-hander, approaching the Albon corner, the Vico de Pato, also known as the Albon corner, where Alex Albon was taken out in 2019. Through this sweeping left-hander, going downhill, disappears out of view for a moment till he approaches Jun Sao, exits the corner well, and coming up the hill through Subeda the boxes. I hope I will pull up the corner names in a moment, but coming up to the line, Nobleguard seems to be putting up a very respectable time. He goes on pole position. He is ahead of Redstone Derp. So, well, those sarcastic comments may have actually given Noble some more motivation for this. Yes, Ethan, I believe I've missed that. I wasn't able to figure out what's happened to you, Ethan. Why are you taking no further part in the session? What's happened to your Haas Ferrari car? As we see, Abhishek's having a little snap there, going down the hill, approaching. This is the turn where, if I'm not wrong, it is Season 8, Division 2, where he had a very iconic moment. Abdul Samad will be very, very pleased to remember these moments. Buongiorno, my love. Good to have you. Not good to have you in the comments. Would like to have you in the comms box here, but hope your trip is going well. And as you see, Abhishek is up to P10, 1:11.1. So only two drivers on outside a lap time as of now. One of them is Shrivats, who is about to come up to the start-finish line. Let's see what he can do. He is going to dive straight into the pit lane, and well, I don't think anybody can respect the speed limit there for the pit lane. I think somebody started their lap. Yeah, that is I am Rahul. So both Mercedes cars are in the top 7 as of now. Rahul is actually posing a threat to Noble and Redstone, and as I said that he has invalidated his lap, so I think he should consider backing off here. I'm not sure why he's not done so already. Nonetheless, we have a Williams. I think, yeah, that is Smith Shah. So he is. What's he doing? You think he's doing race run? Turn 6. Is it the turn we are approaching right now, Noble? The one that Smith is about to take, this long right hander? This is where. Was it Ollie Behrman who lost it in the main race? I think it was. So, yeah, just unfortunate for you, Ethan. I'm sure you will be coming back stronger in the race. While you're here, please do let us know, give a little sneak peek for the weather. I would love to see what the weather is like. It would be really, really fun if the weather was changeable like it was in the main race. A lot of football chat going on there. I wish I understood football as well as some of you all do. But yes, Smith exiting Junsao. Is he going for a lap now with 4 lap old tires? I think he is. Alright, so I think we can follow Smith coming up to the Senna S's. He is still ahead of Abhishek, so that is something that Abhishek may want to improve on over the course of this quali session. Through the Senna S's, a little hesitant, or maybe that's lag, I'm not too sure about it. Through the Curva Grande we go, and onto the Retro Posta, approaching the Cedar de Lago. Is up by 8/10, so that even at the present moment will not see him go ahead of Vintage Play. He needs to improve by over a second as Redstone Derp going to pole position by 3 tenths, clear by 3 tenths. I'm not sure if anybody else is on a lap. I see Suraj has set a lap and he is coming back into the pit lane, so that's a very, very respectable lap by him there. What about Smith? Can he do something? Coming up to Biko the Pato, taking the slow right-hander. And yes, Madhav, the moment you said he was doing race runs, he's just taken it to pole position, and Vivek follows him on the front row in P2. Smith is up by 1.4, but I think he should go for another run on a fresh set of soft tires. And I see Shah and Shrivats are on their out laps. I believe they've not been able to set. Yeah, they've not been able to set a time at all. Oh, it's sunny weather for the race. That's a bummer actually. Would have loved to see some changeable weather, some rain and such. But I would like to point out in a moment. Let me just figure out if somebody else is on a lap. So we have Nupshan on a lap. He has been one of the quicker drivers over the course of the season, and he is. This is a statement I would like to make. I will hope that it's in the best interest. I'm gonna say that he has been a championship contender from the get-go, and by the looks of his performance, I think he wanted to stay that way. He scored points in every race so far this season, and he improves his time, but not his position. He is in P7 behind URL Basel, who is getting out the way of Alpine, and SFR Sonic Hawk is here. Welcome, Sonic Hawk. It's good to have you. That is Shah, who Basil got out the way for, and Shah going through this corner. Let's see what he can do. I'm not too aware of the per sector, as I see a yellow flag in the end of the start of the second sector. Shah taking the corner. I think there was a mounting the curb a little too much there, but nonetheless coming up the hill, that is sticking very close to the inside line. I believe he may have lost a little bit of time by doing that. Nonetheless, he comes up to the line. What can he do? He goes up to P10 ahead of Vintage and Abhishek. Sonic Hawk is obviously in the pit lane. So Shrivats went P7. We missed that. There is a whole lot of motion going on track. People on the out laps, on their hot laps. Basil has invalidated. Shrivats is on his in lap. Nupshan is also on his in lap, I believe. It does not make sense. I don't think he has enough fuel to. Yeah, he doesn't have enough fuel, so he is going to come into the pits and do splash and dash, where you can't really do that in these modern cars. You can't refuel in the pit lane itself, not the fast lane, but the pit box. Okay, I'm going to stop speaking about that. Suraj and Rahul are on their laps, and they have followed each other in tandem. Rahul has a little moment there, exiting the Senna SS. Suraj also having a little moment there. Jishnu, I believe it's the end of November, or start of December, sorry. I think start of December. So both the Mercedes drivers are not off by much. Suraj mounting the curb there. He may have lost a little bit of time. Yes, Malav, I will pull up the points table in a moment. I believe it is Nupshan leading from Suraj and Rahul, or it's the other way around, Rahul and Suraj, but I shall confirm that in a moment, as I will have to for that. Nonetheless, I'll get back to that while we focus on Rahul's lap, and following him not too far behind him is his teammate. As you can see, the two Mercedes in the same shot there. Rahul's up by 4 tenths. That could be beneficial for him. They're very beneficial. This could move him ahead of Vifix. However, Vifix has yet to do his final run. I couldn't really see Suraj's final lap time delta as he takes the shortest possible run to the line, and Rahul will move up to pole position ahead of Redstone. What about Suraj? Oh, he's driving into the pit lane. Did he make a mistake on the run up to the line or something? I'm not too sure about it, because it looked like it was a reasonable lap for Suraj. But that is a very commendable effort. It's not just commendable, it's remarkable by Rahul. Redstone Derp, we've known him to be, well, decimating the competition. He's just been supremely dominant. You don't expect to see that dominance streak being broken, but by the looks of it, Rahul has done it. Qualifying as Rahul, Noble Garter has taken the very scenic route here onto the grass, facing the F124 barriers there as Noble Garter. What exactly have you done, my friend? Onto the grass, getting out the way for the Mercedes of Rahul. Back on the track. Nothing happened to Noble. Absolutely nothing happened. We will very conveniently ignore that. Redstone is on the track, as I believe Noble was recharging and he just strayed a bit onto the grass there. But yes, I should pull up the points table. I'm not supposed to pull up season 11, sorry, season 12. Yes, scrolled a bit too far up. So it is Nupshan leading from Suraj, F17 by 22 points. And behind, 3 points behind Suraj is I am Rahul, who is presently on pole position. Could this be, and there's a big gap behind Rahul. It's Falcon and P4 who I do not see on track tonight. So I believe that's not the ideal way to go about fighting for a championship. But I don't think that Falcon is going to be joining us today unless he can make it within the next 3.5 minutes of qualifying. Redstone has started his lap, so maybe we should follow this. This is going to be very crucial for him. Going through the San Isis, there's a Ferrari ahead of him of Abhishek. These two have been former teammates. They work very well in tandem, and the Ferrari is going to give the customer team a little bit of a tow. Will he get out of the way there? He does, but I think that's a little too late. He almost took out Redstone there, but Redstone still, I believe, managed to improve. I was just trying to focus on Abhishek for the moment there, what he's trying to do. Through this fast right-hander, going up the hill into the braking area, Redstone seems to be very much in control of his car, taking the shortest possible line, sticking to the apex, hugging the inside line. Let's see what he can do through this corner of Vico de Pato. Nice run through there. Down through Merulio, I'm gonna say, approaching Junsao, the penultimate corner. He's up by 3.5 tenths. That is gonna be quite a improvement on his previous time, and he's gonna move ahead of Rahul. Sticking to the inside line, he's taking the ideal racing line through this corner. Coming up to the line, DRS is gonna be open for Redstone Derp, and he is going to go up to pole position. 3.5 tenths up on his time, and well, comfortably ahead of the opposition at the moment. 3 tenths, I think that's on a short track like Brazil, that's a pretty big advantage. Shah is on a lap, Basil on an out lap. So with 2 minutes left in the session, I expect to see drivers coming out the pits. As I see, Vifix is exiting the pit lane. I think, yeah, that is the case. The Ferrari of Abhishek is in the pit lane. The Aston Martin, who's the Aston? That's Sonic Hawk. Alright. So, I think it's just Shah on a lap right now. And Jin, are you sure about that statement? That's a very interesting claim to make. I don't think that he's going to be losing as much time in the race today, as it's going to be a dry race, as Ethan very kindly let us know. Shah losing control of his car a little bit there here and stepping out for a little jog, and Shah not up by much, as Malav echoing most people's comments there, as Shah looks to find out where the Mercedes was on the track, and he is going lawn mowing there. And that is an Alpine, and Redstone has retired. That's the end of his session. He does not believe he can go any quicker, or maybe just wants to save a set. Nonetheless, the other contender, Bifix and Redstone, if you think back to it, it's Season 9, Division 1, season finale. These two were embroiled in an incredible battle at this very circuit, and their teammates for tonight's race. Are we going to see old rivalries come back to life? Or is Redstone just too far ahead for the moment? We'll come to know. Vifix is down in the first sector by a little bit, and I think he needs a little bit of a tow from Shrivats there, but I think Shrivats himself is on a lap, so I don't think that's going to be very beneficial for him. There's a yellow flag there. There's a Ferrari going a bit slow. I don't think that's Abhishek. He will likely not get to the line in time. Going through these slow corners, Vifix seems to be in control into this tight right-hander. What can he do? Gets a nice exit there, a little twitchy. 10 seconds left on the clock here. Going down the hill, Vifix approaching Junsao. Is he up? He's only up by a 10, so this will not even get him ahead of Rahul at the moment. He needs a majestic run in this final sector. Vifix, checker flag is out, an option, and Shrivats, Sonic Hawk could not set a lap time. What about Vifix? Shrivats crosses the line. He did not improve his position. Vifix does not go ahead of I am Rahul. Rahul's time was enough. What about Basil? What about Noble Garter? Who's about to cross the line? I see an Aston Martin of Sonic Hawk. I see a Mercedes of Suraj, who is finishing his lap this time around. And where will he go? He moves up to P5. That's a good effort by him there. I see a Red Bull. That's Noble Garter, I think. Yes, that's Noble Garter. Following him will be URL Basil. Noble Garter sticking to the apex as close as he can. What can he do? He does not improve. What about URL Basil? He is boxing. What if can Smith do anything? I think he crossed the line with just maybe a few seconds left on the clock, because that is very tight timing. I think everybody else has finish the laps apart from Abhishek, who's invalidated, and Vintage, who is. I think he may just be able to finish his lap in time, and will he move ahead of Abhishek? Let's find out. Smith has retired for some reason. Where has he retired? Did he retire on the track, or what's happened there? Yeah, that's the car, and Smith's car is moving, so not sure what's happened there. His car is grinding to a halt at the exit of Junta, as you can see in the little picture there. But one of the more surprising events here is that Rahul has out-qualified Vifix. We wouldn't have really expected to see that. I didn't, at least. I'm sure I'm underestimating Rahul here compared to these guys, but yeah, they've been some of the fastest in this league since its inception. And there you go, Redstone Derp in the kick Sauber, a car whose engine sound he hates, as per his comments in the F1 channel. He's taken pole from Rahul, followed by Vifix. Basil in P4, Suraj in P5, a good effort by him there. Nobles in P6. Shrivats in P7, Noption P8, Smith P9 couldn't finish his final lap, and Shah is in P10. Behind them are Abhishek, Vintage, Sonic Hawk, and URL who make up the grid. Couldn't get to the end of the list in time, but nonetheless, that's all the 14 drivers racing with us tonight. And as we wait for the race start, please, guys, give me your podium predictions. Who do you think is going to be on the podium? Smith is questioning AI by the looks of it. What's happening here? Not too sure. Maybe a little clueless. But there you go. Sunny skies for the race start here at Interlagos. Like to remind everybody to take a little water break before the race start. It's going to be a hectic one. And we will find out the driver strategies and such in a moment. But for the time being, we shall be focusing on the race start. And yes, I agree, Jin. I agree. Rain is, as Ocon said in the post-race interview, it's a great equalizer. You love to see a rainy race. I don't think we've had too many rainy races in this season. Have we had a single rainy race this season? Can't remember it explicitly. I don't think we have, so love to see a rain-inflicted race, but we wait. As I can see some tires in the pit box there. Also, the tire strategy will be very crucial. I think it's going to be interesting if anybody starts on softs. You can't really do that in this game. The softs wear out very quickly. 1 light, 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights ahead of all the drivers. And it's lights out right now, and they're off. It's a good start for Redstone. It's a better start for Rahul, but I think Redstone had the advantage there, despite a little bit of wheel spin. As they go into turn 1, I think Vifix is going to be attacking. There's a car who's gone off the track there. That's Nico Hulkenberg style. Abhishek has been reset to the grid there. He's been a very problematic race start for him, but Basil and Vifix are going to battle here, going into Deceited Delago. And will Basil have the inside line? I think he will. Suraj will have a great view of all this, but I think Vifix is going to hold track position. But up front, look, Rahul is not letting Redstone breathe. He's not giving him any breathing room there. I think, okay, Sonic Hawk is on the soft tires, contrary to what I believe would be the strategy situation for everybody. There's a little bit of few skirmishes going on in the background there, but as we look up front, Rahul still chasing after Redstone, who is, I think he's trying to push just to get Rahul out of the DRS range. As you know, DRS is enabled on lap 2 in this game, and in this real life season, Noble onto the grass there, and also about to be overtaken by Vintage Blair, and he has. So that's a pretty torrid start from Noble. I'm not sure how many positions he's lost. Maybe he's lost 3 positions by the looks of it. But look, Vifix is chasing Rahul. Rahul is chasing Redstone. Redstone is... he's going to have to work for this by the looks of it. DRS is enabled here. I don't think it's going to be on this occasion for Rahul, or will it? Going through this long left-hander. Let's have a look. DRS flap, and it is open. So Redstone will have pretty tough time as Abhishek gets a 10-second penalty. I believe that is for a retirement there. Is it? Or is he going to continue on? I would like to see him continue on. Jin saying that Ethan may have a master stroke. I didn't really get to mention that. Ethan and Smith are the only 2 drivers on the hard tires, as Vifix got some fantastic grip through that corner here. And He's right on the gearbox of Rahul's Mercedes there. He can, the word Ineos may be burned onto his screen if he follows him Rahul around for a little longer. Redstone still leading the way, but he's pulled out an 8 tenths gap to I am Rahul. Going through June Sao, Vifix getting a decent run, but I don't think it's going to be enough on this occasion. Or will it? Vifix will likely use some battery to stay within touching distance within attacking distance of Rahul. Going up the hill towards the main start finish line onto turn 1, and Basil with the fastest lap. So it is really anybody's game here. I think Suraj went a little bit deeper in that corner. Yellow flag. Has something happened to Vintage Player or something happened to Abhishek? Yeah, that's Abhishek, who is losing the car here and there. We may have to switch focus to that for a moment, as that's a great camera angle there. Of the top 4 in this race, 2 kick-saubers leading and sandwiched between them is a Mercedes. How often do you get to hear that? That's a very rare sight that we've seen there. As okay, Vifix going for the dive there, and Rahul having the superior grip, but I think Vifix will force him to take some evasive action here, but Rahul will not budge. We know Rahul to be a very tough racer here, and Basil will get the best view of all this, and I think Vifix knows exactly when to be aggressive, and he's done exactly that with Rahul. He has been aggressive at the right moment. He's pounced on the opportunity, and he's moved ahead of the Mercedes driver. However, he will not have DRS on Redstone by the looks of it. If things stand the way they are, let's have a look from Rahul's on board. Will Vifix have DRS? He does not, while Rahul does. I think he's going to breeze past before they even get to the start-finish line there. Rahul is ahead, but I think Vifix will be very eager to get back past the Mercedes driver. Further back, Ethan, Sonic Hawk battling. I'm not sure we can really focus on that right now when there's such an incredible battle going on for P2. Abhishek is pit for a second time. He has been lapped. It's lap 4. Wow, didn't think I would be having to say that today. Onto the soft tires goes Abhishek, as Basil just recharging his battery. I think that's the best thing he can do right now. Let those ahead of him fight, and Jin with a very interesting observation there. I'm not sure I can say that. It will be considered a little problematic there, but Basil on the gearbox of Vifix's Sauber, and yeah, something about the kick Sauber does sound really off-putting. I agree with what Redstone said in the chat there. Rahul with a reasonable exit. Redstone does not seem to be getting the exact perfect exits he needs, or maybe Rahul's just running really low downforce compared to the rest of the pack, because I think where they really gain on him is on the corner. So let's have a look from Vifix's on board. Rahul with the fastest lap. Let's see. There's a yellow flag for Smith Shah, as there you go, Rahul having a moment and Vifix having to take evasive action. I think Basil may have a little bit of damage as a result. Maybe Vifix also has a little bit of damage, but they're all very closely packed together. And will Basil go for the dive here? Will Vifix allow it? There's contact there between these two. These two are known to work very well together on a racetrack, but right now these two are racing, and they're racing hard. Vifix staying ahead of Basil for the moment. Thank you, Jim. That's a very kind gesture on your part. Very grateful. As Rahul seems to be having to really work his car, work the tires in order to keep up with Redstone, and Redstone is running away right now. I don't think he's got the appropriate amount of downforce on his car, but Redstone himself seems to be struggling a lot, so I'm not sure what's going on there with them. Smith is the one who had spun. He is now 20 seconds behind the leader. That's the lead. I'm sorry, I should keep this stat here. So we shall have a look at the position changes in a moment. There's a lot of entertainment to follow this. I don't really get a chance to mention things, as Rahul is outside DRS range on Redstone, but crucially because of the moment they had at this corner the previous lap, he was not under siege from Vifix, but I think Vifix will have the perfect chance here, perfect opportunity to move ahead of the Mercedes driver. I think that Rahul had the straight line speed. He stayed ahead. Ethan and Nuption. Ethan ahead of Nuption, so that's a little battle we should also be focusing on. Rahul is really struggling at this particular corner. Vifix has really gained a whole lot of time, maybe thrice over the course of 6 laps on Rahul at this very corner. So maybe Rahul may want to rethink his downforce values in the pit stop. There's a prolonged yellow flag for somebody. Is that that can't be Abhishek? Is that Noble Water? Who is that? I'm sorry, I just have to check that out. Maybe. Okay, I'm not gonna bother with that. I don't know who that was. I think that might be Noblegata. Abhishek's with another 10-second penalty, and he's spun as well for good measure. So that's really not gonna help him out. But Vifix is gonna love this. He is going to make the move, and yes, it is crucial to not let Redstone run away, which by the looks of it, it has happened right now. Basil going for the move as well on Rahul, squeezing him at the apex there. Rahul getting out of shape. He will be under threat from his teammates F17 or Willy. These two, they've also worked together very well in the past. I think the best case scenario of that was it Spa? Am I remembering that well? These two work well as a team, two Mercedes drivers, and Suraj hangs back for now because he knows that Rahul will be on the offensive. He will be quite frustrated the fact that Basil and Vifix were able to get past him. Now Vifix is chasing after Redstone, but there's a gap to his teammate. As a little lockup there for Vifix will do him no favors whatsoever. Basil is caught up to the back of him. Going down the hill, approaching June South. There you go. The gap between Vifix and Redstone is almost 2 seconds now. Basil has had a half spin, so has Rahul, and that has promoted Suraj into the podium places, followed by Shrivats. So I believe Rahul just spun in sympathy with Basil, and maybe they made some contact. I'm not too sure. I shouldn't really be on the TV pod camera too long or too much. But up front, that is an incredible lifeline for Vifix. At the moment he needed to, he just... That's amazing. That's Hamilton levels of luck there for him. But Vifix in P2 chasing after Redstone. Let's see. And Jin saying it's good for the championship. I think the stream is delayed by a significant amount here. As yes, he has let Suraj by, but it was not in the most... It's in an unusual manner, let's just put it like that. Vifix, he will want to pull away from Suraj going through this corner. This is where Vifix locked up the previous lap. He's navigated it well this time round. Shrivats is also not giving Suraj much breathing room. Shah with a penalty as well. So we can now, I believe that it's settled down a little bit. We can have a look at the position changes. Not that, sorry. So yes, Ethan, the biggest gainer, 7 positions gained on those hard tires after a disastrous qualifying. He'll be looking to make inroads over the course of the race with his strategy as opposed to other things because he's started that far back. Suraj also gaining 2 places. It's a good race start for him. Shrivas gaining 3 crucially, but Rahul losing 4 and Baz losing 1 position. So it's not paid off for them over the course of the race because, okay, Jin suggesting that Vifix should undercut. We'll have a look at that. An option holding position, that's not what he needs to do. He needs to be gaining positions. When his championship rival is in P3 and he's in P8, it's not a very good sign for his situation. So Shah has also retained position. Vintage has moved up 3 places. That is commendable. We've not given him much airtime tonight. Sonic Hawk in P11 chasing after Shah. He's on those soft tires. Mind you, he's been on the soft tires since the start of the race. That's the only driver on those soft tires. There are 2 drivers on hards. One of them is Smith Shah, who had that spin and is now looking for a recovery from that. And I think there's a bit of a lull that's set in. Suraj is keeping Vifix honest. That's very impressive. And I think that he's trying to mount a siege on Vifix, possibly. Seems to be in good control of his car. Down the retro poster we go. DRS open for Suraj. No DRS for Vifix, mind you. But the crucial thing is he is maintaining pace, the gap with Redstone, Vifix. So I think that's promising for him. It means that should there be a safety car or a situation where the pit stops give Vifix an advantage, he can be a threat to Redstone. So there you see, Redstone is still in the picture. It's not like he's flown away the way he used to in F1 23 and 22. But yeah, more so the fact that, more so F1 23, but Redstone used to just fly away. Suraj is, he's doing really well there, and also props to Shrivats. He is staying within touching distance of Suraj, so I think this is just helping all of them out here. With Shrivats will have to pick up the pace a little bit. He's outside DRS range at the moment. But look at the run Suraj has got. Will he go for a move into turn 1? I think he will. Or I think he may decide against it into turn 1. They go side by side. There's a lot of wheel banging there. Did Vifix turn in way too early there? Not too sure about it. They're getting out of shape there. Vifix with DRS. I think Suraj may be able to go for the move. Vifix will squeeze him down the right posta and nope. When they get to Desida Delago, Vifix is now in P3. Suraj is up into P2, but the turn we're coming up to is the place where Vifix loves to attack the driver in front. And let's see, through this corner we go, and Vifix once again getting the superior grip there. Will he go for a dive? I don't think he will. This is an unexpected battle, mind you. I didn't really expect to see that. It is important to note, however, that this is allowing Redstone to pull away. So let's see, they're not obliged to let each other by. Will Suraj have the pace to keep Vifix behind him? That is absolutely fine, but I think it's dependent on who reports who. Vifix with he got the perfect exit from that corner there. He almost drifted the car through Junsao there. I think it's going to be a very easy move for Vifix with the help of DRS. He's very close, he's within touching distance, striking distance, and he's going to go for the move. But I think Suraj will have DRS on the back straight, given that he was behind at the detection point, which is right about here. And yes, I think that is the case. Madhav, Redstone has disappeared into the sunset, like he always does, like we've known him to do over the past few seasons. Shrivats, he may have taken up this time to charge some battery up and go for an offensive on Suraj or on Vifix. Let's see, Sonic and Shah trading places. Sonic may want to think about his strategy because he's done 11 laps on these soft tires. He may want to go on to a set of hard tires around about now if he wants to just get to the end of the race. I think Sonic may have a chance at attacking Vintage and Option maybe towards the end of the race, should he time a strategy call to perfection. Once again, Suraj with a good exit. He has got a reasonable run. He's got a lot of batteries, you can see there. I'm not going to give the exact values, of course. But will Vifix box? Is he boxing? I don't think he is. Suraj, will he go for a move here? Is it in his best interest to do so? Going to the outside line, hangs back because he knows he'll get DRS on the back straight. To the Senna SS, Vifix is getting out of shape there with the corner exits. Maybe his rear tires have really heated up, having to battle all these drivers. And Suraj, will he go for a move? I don't think he will. Downshifts a little too early there, I think, Suraj, by the sounds of it. And Srivats is a little too far back. Basil and Rahul. This is a battle we have not followed for a while. I believe these two traded positions a few times. Sonic Hawk and Shah trading places. We will unfortunately not be able to give that too much airtime at the moment because it's Basil and Rahul fighting for P5. These two had that moment, of course, a few laps ago, if you remember. So that is not played out in their favor. Rahul not getting the best rear traction out of that corner. While Suraj, let's have a look at him. He gets very good traction out of that corner. He is still within striking distance. So Vifix is being kept really honest. This is not something we've seen, or maybe even he's seen in a while. And Suraj breezes by into P2. But will he be able to stay there? Vifix was able to mount a charge on Suraj over the past few laps. The last time they went to battle, Vifix did mount a charge on him. And I think this is going to be a straightforward move there. There's a yellow flag. I believe that is for Smith Shah, who has managed to keep his motor running. And Vifix was not able to get back past Suraj. But he may go for a move at the next corner. I hope there's not a whole lot of wheel banging there. We really want to see some good clean racing, fair racing as well. Vifix going for the dive. Will he? He does! Will Suraj give him the room? Suraj does. They are going to go side by side through this corner. Because the Pato, Merulio and Ferradura, forgive me for my foreign names here. Vifix having to take some evasive action there. I don't think expected Suraj to cover off the racing, the path that Vifix planned to take there. So Suraj is really fighting Vifix there. That's great to see. Usually it's just you let them by because you know that they're faster, but Suraj he has the pace tonight, Suraj, and he's showcasing some great pace. I think it's going to be a move done for Vifix on this occasion down the main straight, but I think that Suraj will come back for more. He will definitely come back for more. And I think, yeah, that was Smith who spun. What about Basil and Rahul? Basil is on the back of Rahul, a little too far back right now to be able to do much. And I think if you look at it, Redstone's charged up his battery, he's saving some fuel, he's having a nice time, Redstone up front. Doesn't have to worry, he's got a 3.5 second gap to the car behind, which keeps increasing, keeps fluctuating up and down. So it is lap 15, in about 3 laps time it will be half race distance. When do these drivers start to think about strategy? Do you go from mediums to hards, or do you risk it like Sonic Hawk? Do you risk it and go on the softs like Sonic Hawk has opted to do so? Sonic Hawk is on those soft tires, but however, he did start on the soft tires as opposed to those around him having started on the mediums and the hards. It'll be interesting to see the strategy decisions by the drivers here. Suraj getting a decent exit. He's lost some time to the fix, but he is still within DRS range. Shrivat, I think he's having to push to stay with these guys, and there you go. Vifix and Shrivat have decided to dive into the pit lane, change their tires, and bolt on a new set of rubber. I think we may see an option with a 10-second penalty. This race is going backwards for an option here. It's really not gone in his favor, and he's picked up a penalty here. Despite that, he seemed like he was struggling, so option, he's made his pit stop. He'll emerge just ahead of his teammate with Shah. But I'm really intrigued to see when Suraj decides to box and where he comes out if he decides to box on this lap. Will the advantage that these guys have on the fresh set of tires be enough for Vifix and Shrivats? Shrivats, I think, less so because he's a little too far back, but Vifix will have to navigate some traffic of Shah and Sonic Hawk, and he's gonna catch them in the worst sector to catch slower cars. And Vifix, will he go for a dive? Will Shah give him the room? I think Shah will race him. Yes, Shah has the advantage here. He has a track position. Vifix wasn't able to get past. Yes, Suraj is in the pit lane, but look at the amount of time Vifix has lost to the car head, and Shah is still battling. This is gonna be a godsend for Suraj, because let's see where he'll come out. He will come out of the pits. I think he may just have a chance of retaining his position ahead of Sonic Hawk with a massive penalty, 10-second penalty as well. But let's have a look. So this is Vifix, and there, somewhere there is Suraj, and there you can see him in the picture, Suraj. I think he's not going to be able to get past Vifix, but I think he may be able to get past Noble Gata, maybe ahead of Shrivats. He gets back onto the racing line, but I think it's going to be a little too late. Oh, is it? He goes for the dive there, loses a little bit of time because he doesn't have the tires warmed up. And he's behind Shrivats, so the undercut did work out for Vifix and even for Shrivats at the moment. Noble Gata, he's there. He's not made his pit stop. He is having a bit of a tough race, Noble Gata. I think he will be boxing this lap, as will Redstone. Yes, as we can see there, locking up, boxing the Redstone. What about Rahul? Rahul's boxing as well, and I missed that Basil boxed as well at the same lap as Suraj did. But let's have a look at Suraj. Case in point, will he be able to get past Shrivats? As we have Mayank in the chat. Hello Mayank, would have loved to see you on track tonight, as he is putting out a very valid response. There is Suraj going for the double move. He's made the move on Shrivats. He's made the move on Noble Gata. Noble Gata still there, but he's not going to be enough for him. Noble with a penalty, and there you go. Suraj just taking the perfect opportunity to make the move on Noble and on Shrivats, but will he be overtaken by either of them? Noble going for the offensive here, and Suraj will be forced off. Not forced off, he'll be battling away, and Suraj is gonna go side by side through this section. It's a little uncomfortable to follow this, as now Shrivats and Suraj are side by side, and Shrivats has the inside line. Basil is with them. This is a three-way battle for position, mind you. All three of them have made their pit stops, and behind them Rahul as well. So it's a four-way battle actually. As through the battle we go, and side by side, Suraj has had so many side by side moments here throughout the course of this lap. And look at this, just look at this incredible scenes here. As Suraj locks up, he has a moment there. Did he have a rear lock there, which has caused him to lose a lot of time and a few positions? Oh, now Shrivas is going for the move on Noble Garter, whose light is blinking. He is out of battery. There's a... No, that's not a yellow flag. Sorry, that's yellow tires for Noble Garters. Who's that? That's Rahul. Or is that Noble Garters? Sorry, yeah, that's Noble Garter who's had a moment. I thought that was Rahul for a moment. Sorry for that. Noble Garter onto the grass. They're having a moment. Heart and mouth moment. Basil going for the move on Shrivats. And Rahul going for the move on Shrivats as well. There's wheel banging there. There's a lot of contact and Shrivats is off the track. Rahul sticks to the inside line. Wow. I'm a little lost for words here. And yes, we will have to find Larry here on track if Jin's show gets approved by networks. But Noble's out of the way of these three. Suraj, I think he'll be really cursing the fact that he locked up at the moment he did at Junsao. Up front, Ethan, when will he box? He has to box. It's not like he can get to the end. This is on dry tires, dry race. I think, yeah, Redstone. I've not really followed this. Somehow the gap between Redstone and Vifix is there or thereabouts. It's very close. Rahul gets past Srivat. Suraj gets past Noble Garter. And Noble did fight him the last time these two went to battle on track. And Noble has, yeah, had a very good run through that. Yes, I agree, Suraj lost a lot of time there. As Mayank Malav is exploring the Assassin's Creed lands of Italy, if I'm not wrong. So that is why he's not in the comms box with us tonight. And we should know that IRL is very, very important, and we will be deducting. Caesar has let me know that he'll be deducting stuff from his salary. An option in P9, struggling. It's not been a very good one, and he has a penalty looming over his head as well. So I don't think it's really gonna pan out well for an option unless there's a safety car, or he just needs to pick up the pace here. He needs to build out a 10-second gap to his teammate. Smith might actually be beneficial in that. Vifix with the fastest lap. He is bringing the gap down slowly and steadily to Redstone. It was 1.6, it's now 1.4, and now it has become 1.2. Rahul with the fastest lap, a 109.875. Let's have a look at the battery percentages for these drivers. They are almost equal on battery, if I'm not wrong, Vifix and Redstone. So, classic rivals going to war at the hallowed grounds that they have fought at previously. This just reminds me of the Season 9 D1 finale, and I was in that race. So, it was good times. Will we see some more good times here tonight with Redstone and Vifix? Only time will tell. It's lap 21, soon to be lap 22. Ethan has exited Junsao. He is in Sector 3. The Sauber duo behind him have just started Sector 3. And Ethan will start lap 22. He's gone an awfully long time on these set of hard tires. He's sticking to the outside line. That's not the safest way to do it. It is the fastest way to do it, but you can lose a lot of time should you clip the grass, as we saw from Noble Garter's little excursion there a few laps ago. Shrivats on the back of I Am Rahul. Into the Senna S as we go, and nope, I don't think Shrivats has a lot to offer in regards to Rahul. All space at the moment. Vintage and Smith trading places, and yes, a safety car right now could change everything, because I'm positive everybody's gonna box regardless of what tires they're on. Those who have not made that stop yet, for instance Noble and Ethan, they'll be just thanking the stars above that they've got the safety car at the most ideal point for them, given that they've stayed out, they've taken the risk to stay out and not go for the undercut or such. And Shah has retired on the track. Guys, you manifested it. That is, Ethan is the masterclass for Ethan. But will Redstone pit or will he stay out? He will pit. What about Vifix? He will pit as well. It's a double sack for the Kicksauber team. But Ethan, URL Ethan, Redstone picks up a 10-second penalty. Ethan will inherit the lead of the race. I believe everybody is going to box. Logically nobody should stay out. URL Ethan from the back of the grid is now leading the race on track after having made his pit stop. Redstone he'll have a problem here because of his penalty. Vivix has opted for the soft tires. That's a very risky move. I don't think that's a very sensible choice of tire there for him. Everybody else has opted for the medium tire, while Sonic Hawk has stayed out. Alright, I didn't really expect to see that. Noble Garter also on the soft tires. So they're taking a leaf out of Sonic Hawk's playbook here. He went, I believe it was 13 laps on softs. I think it was. So, sorry. With the safety car, I think that is really just touch and go for Noble, Vifix, Nuption and Smith. So I believe Nuption has served his penalty. This is... It's a lifeline for him as well. And Smith, he's had a torrid race. He's had a few spins, I believe, as well. So this safety car has really come at a very good time for him. But up front, Redstone, who was poised to take the lead of the race whenever Ethan chose to pit, he now has a 10-second penalty looming over his head. And he has Ethan ahead of him, who's also made his pit stop, mandatory pit stop. It's gonna be a classic. It's gonna be an IRL classic tonight. Let's see. Jin suggesting that Redstone should let Vifix go. Will he? So we all know he can, but will he? Sonic Hawk pits. Why did he wait the extra lap there? Because now he's gonna definitely come out in last place. Or was he just caught out by the timing there? I'm not too sure of. Safety car, he is opting for a set of soft tires as well. As we can see there, that's going to be one lap soft tires. And just a moment. Yes, apologies for that. Sonic Hawk is exiting the pits in last position on those soft tires. Malav, we can learn a lot from you. I believe sometimes if you don't like the look of a racetrack or if you're not really enjoying your setup, I think we have seen a few times from you how to end your race within the first 13-14 seconds of it starting. So Malav, I think we can learn that from you, that you should not put yourself through stuff you don't like. You've shown that very clearly at season 5 Baku, season 6 Baku, before my time. Not very aware of it. But nonetheless, the safety car is going to be in at the end of this lap. And honestly, while I could be on board with Redstone, even on board with Ethan, I want to be on board with Vifix. Now, with the history these two have, Redstone and Vifix, at this very track as well, given that they fought for a championship here a few seasons ago, Vifix will be on the offensive. Redstone knows that it's a lost cause with a 10-second penalty. However, he is Redstone. He's dominated season 11 and season 10 in D1. Will he let his teammate for tonight go? I think not, because Ethan's got a good launch there. Vintage Play has been caught out a little bit there by the timing of the restart. Rahul opting for the outside line. I don't think that was the best thing to do in this situation. As let's have a look up front. Vintage struggling, but Vifix is a little too far back. Rahul has got past Vintage Player. The McLaren really struggling on those old hard tires. Basil, will he go for a move? Will Shrivas go for a move? I don't think they can right now. They're a little too far back. Basil, he has to make the move on Shrivas. Shrivas himself has to make the move on Vintage Player, who is really struggling, mind you, on these old tires. It's a little bit of a opportunistic gamble there that Vintage has taken on these tires. As Basil went for the move there, that's a very bad cinematic angle, I'm sorry for that. As Basil is going for the move here, down the inside at this very corner. You don't really go for a move on a Red Bull family car at that corner, as you know how it can turn out. Into Junsa, will he go for a dive? Basil is going very aggressive. Shrivas has also not been able to make too many inroads on Vintage Play as a result, and that has resulted in them losing over a second and a half to Rahul. But up front, Ethan being chased after by Redstone. Ethan stays ahead for the time being. Vifix is, I think he picked up the fastest lap. And for the back, this is commotion, this is chaos. You love to see it. This is classic IRL. Basil on the back of Vintage Player moves to the outside, but I think he has the straight line speed for the moment. Up front, the lead has changed hands. Redstone and Ethan have swapped positions. And for the back, there's cars going all over the circuit here. As somebody's rejoined, that's a Red Bull. Is that Noble Gato's rejoined there? Right behind Shrivats, that would have given Shrivats a scare, that would have given Nuption a scare, who had to brake there for some reason. We just caught out Sonic Hawk. Vintage Player is now down in P12 for some reason, and Smith, I believe, was tagged by Vintage Player. This is the kind of commotion you love to see, where you just can't keep up with what's going on. And the midfield, you love the midfield. Leaders can just have their own time up front, but the midfield is where the fun is at. I don't say that because I only had the pace to be in the midfield the last few seasons I was racing, but nonetheless, we carry on. Redstone in the lead. Vifix, will he go for the offensive on Ethan immediately? I think he may go for a dive into turn 1. Will he? He decides against it. Ethan's light was blinking. Redstone with the fastest lap. Vifix is very close to track limits there, I think, by the looks of it. But Ethan is maintaining very good pace in regards to Redstone. We'll have a look at the battle further back in a moment. Ethan just chose to let Vifix know that he will not leave the door open for him. Vifix, he has to make the move quick because these soft tires have a use by shelf life and they will run out pretty quick. He knows he can't pull those aggressive moves on Ethan because Ethan knows his style of racing. Ethan has raced with Vifix for 6-7 seasons at this point, so veterans of IRL know each other's racing caliber, and Ethan, he will want to stay with Redstone. Redstone, what can he do? Can he pull out a gap? Will Vifix go for the offensive? Will Ethan be able to hang on? We will find out. It is lap 27, soon to be lap 28, in this incredible Brazilian Grand Prix, which has come alive after the safety car, mind you. For the back, Nuption and Noble Gata are very close. Ethan with the fastest lap. He is sandwiched and he's still got the fastest lap, so I think that really is a testament to the pace he has. It's just not being able to extract all of it. Redstone and Sonic Hawk, and what's going on? There's a yellow flag. Noble Gata's off the track. He's going very slowly, so maybe there's been a bit of a run-in with somebody there. We will not focus on that battle, that promotion for the moment. Sonic Hawk and Nuption are trading positions. Vifix going for the alternative line through that corner, but Ethan covers the inside there. He does not want to give Vifix any opportunity to make a move because he knows if they give Vifix an inch, he'll make it a kilometer with the way he can just be aggressive sometimes. He's not very aggressive, Vifix, but when he is, it can really be very detrimental to those who are trying to defend against him. Rahul in P4. He's actually just in a race of his own right now. Basil, he's not within DRS range, so he will not be able to catch up too much. Now it's a matter of Ethan being able to keep up with Redstone, or Vifix being able to make a move on Ethan. Will he go for a move here into turn 1? He gets close, but he really just can't make the move at turn 1. I think he's trying to build up some battery and go for the move in a sensible manner. Ethan with the DRS, but he's not able to get past Redstone. He's able to get close, so he's within 3.5 tenths of Redstone, but there you go. He's having little moments like that which are really, I think it's the dirty air which is really giving him a lot of issues here. Sonic Hawk and Nuption, we're going to give them some airtime here. I'm feeling bad that we're not being able to give them the appropriate airtime here. Both of them on those soft tires. Nuption staying ahead for the time being. He is in P7. Noble Gata has decided to dive into the pit lane for a set of fresh soft tires. If I were him, I would have waited a few more laps and gone later, because you're giving Vintage Player the benchmark for what the fastest lap can be, and he may go for the fastest lap a little later on. Once again, we've exited June Sao, and I think this time around Redstone did not get a particularly good exit because Ethan's like really close to him. As we go into turn 1, the Senna S's, Ethan will not go for a move here, as he logically shouldn't. Will lose a little bit of time because of dirty air there. Vifix having to just position his car perfectly. Sonic Hawk and Nuption once again going to war. I'm really upset we can't follow that, but this is the battle for the lead that we're following. It's a three-way battle for the lead. Redstone leads Ethan and Vifix. So, what is that glitch? Every time it seems like somebody just chucking cement into the air at that corner. But we will we'll just forgive Codemaster. It's very difficult to make a game. It's very difficult to copy paste files year after year from game to game. Let's give these two a little bit of airtime, shall we? Sonic Hawk Nuption and who's joined the battle? Shrivats. So Shrivats is now in the middle of this soft sandwich. Up front, Ethan got a reasonable exit. Vifix got a better exit, but I think the second phase of the exit is where Ethan really manages to pull away in a better manner than Vifix. He just has the straight line speed, and I don't think he will go for the move on Redstone. It doesn't make sense for him to. He will lose a lot of time if he goes for the offensive here. And Vifix with the better exit, and he's keeping Ethan so honest. It's great to see Ethan not losing his composure while being effectively attacked from front and the rear. Redstone is really just teasing him there. Redstone is letting him get close, but he's not letting him make a move even. And Vifix is all over the rear end of the pass of URL Ethan. So I think that it's really a testament to Ethan's composure level at the moment that he's able to do well in such a high pressure situation. Vifix is well, I was hoping it wouldn't be taken out of context there, but thanks Charles for that. Really appreciate your efforts to deduce that from the words that I spoke. Ethan will go for the move. He's got a much better exit and he moves into the lead, but I think Redstone just didn't defend that too much, and he mounts the curbing there. He will have the DRS on Ethan, will he? He does. So will he attack? I think he will, and I think he is going to go for the move here. And Ethan is going to be at a little bit of a disadvantage here. Vifix is once again that glitch is present. Suraj is now ahead of Basil. I am trying to focus on every single battle up and down the field, and I think what's happened here is that Vifix's tires have fallen off the cliff. His choice of soft tires was a very risky one. It would have made sense if the safety car was around lap 27 or such. Noble with a 10-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Is he retiring or is he going for another fastest lap? In any case, he is at risk of getting lapped because Redstone is exited the last corner. He's going onto the main straight. He also has a penalty, of course, just like Noble does. However, I think Noble will just come out in front. So crucially, it is important because Noble may end up inadvertently giving one of these guys DRS. So you don't really want to get involved in a battle which you're not a part of. Let's have a look. So Noble has come out behind this battling trio. Has he? Yeah, he has. He's comfortably behind. So he'll get the best seat in the house, actually. We may switch to his point of view from time to time. It's lap 33 of 36. Noble with yet another penalty. He's picked up, I think it's what, 13 seconds of penalties at the moment? 16. Sonic, Hawk and Shrivats. This midfield battle, I tell you, this is amazing. We love to see it. Unfortunately, the leaders are doing something similar, so I can't really give them a whole lot of airtime. It feels really bad, but let's have a look at Ethan going down the hill, approaching Junsao. He navigates Merulio well and exiting Junsao. His initial exit isn't the best, but his second part of the exit is this section is quite good. Malav, please let us know if that was meant which steward it was meant for. Ethan chose to not go for the move there, as there's a yellow flag for Shrivats, who's had a spin, or maybe he's meant contact. Nonetheless, he is going lawn mowing, and Vintage player has moved ahead of him. Vintage is now the car. The last points is paying position. Ethan is voluntarily choosing to stay behind Redstone, so I think what he wants to do is just make the move on lap 36, the last lap. But I think, okay, Shrivats has retired in the pit lane, so that is going to give Nobledaughter one free position. However, it is a problem for these guys because he is now in the middle of this pack, and that is, as you can see from the fixes on board there, on board that I showed from Noble's race. He is now in the middle of this pack here, and that will, it's not illegal, but it's distracting for the drivers here. So while I don't believe it's something that's, it's going to be an annoyance to those on the track. Ethan, Noble's a few ways back. Noble with the fastest lap. Ethan going into turn 1. And where is Noble? He's disappeared, has he? Did he back off? I think he backed off Noble Garter, so I'm not sure what he's done there. But now, I think Bifix has now got a pretty significant gap to Ethan. It's 8/10, which is not insurmountable by any means. He can certainly get back within touching distance of Ethan and make the move. But maybe Ethan will play it smart, will he? Or will he want to make the move? Given that Redstone has a penalty, he is pushing, as you can see there. He's likely not going to want to risk it too much and lose 18 points. The situation that he has. Maybe, I don't know, I think knowing Ethan, he will go for the offensive, but he needs a perfect run. And with the blue flags being displayed from Noble Garter, we will start lap 36, the final lap. Redstone Derp does lead from URL Ethan, but he has a 10-second penalty looming over his head. As we go into the last lap, Ethan looking for a move, sniffing for opportunity into the Senna as we go down the hill, through the Curva Grande and onto the Retro Aposta. Curva de Sol, I think, it's not Curva Grande, this Monza. Ethan with the DRS, but I don't think he'll be able to make the move here. Bifix is within touching distance, but he's a little too far back right now. I don't think he has the grip left in these 13 lap world soft tires anymore. Ethan is still keeping Redstone very, very honest. Redstone, he's pushing. He wants to, I think at this rate, he will finish in P5, given the positioning of the cars. That will obviously, all of this will promote Rahul into the podium places. Ethan, let's see what he can do. Through Biko the Pato we go, and he's got a decent exit through down the hill, Merulio, and approaching the very, very famous Junsa, the penultimate corner of the racetrack. We go up the hill, Subida the boxes. Bifix has got a good exit. He's depleting all his battery resources, but I think Ethan has a little bit more in spare. Redstone will dive into the pit lane and let Ethan take the checkered flag and win the race. On the circuit, Bifix will finish P2, Rahul will finish P3 on the track, and that's Noble Garter giving us a flourish to the finish there. Suraj will finish P4, and that is Redstone who has finished in P5. He will finish P6 after Basil crosses the line, and the Nuption and Sonic Hawk. Wow, that is the ideal way to finish a race. Smith Shah will finish in P9, and Vintage Play will be the last of the point scorers. But there you go. URL Ethan from the back of the grid wins the race at Brazil. It was a sunny race, but the mood on track was very changeable. I think I could have worded that better. So let me go for it again. The conditions on track weren't changeable, but the racing... Okay, I can't do that. Sorry for trying to attempt that. Ethan takes the win. Who would have thought that after qualifying? He qualified last. And he won the race. Bifix in P2, the soft tire gamble was not really the way to go for him. And the celebrations will continue for URL Ethan P14 to P1. I believe he may be the third or fourth driver to do that in IRL. So very, very good performance by him there. Bifix, he'll be ruining his strategy. I like to talk to him and figure that out. Rahul in P3. I think he'll be happy with the podium. Suraj in P4. So it's a very good point solve for the Mercedes team here. Basil in P5. Nuption in P6. That is damage limitation despite a very tough weekend for Nuption. Sonic Hawk in P7. These two had a very, had an amazing battle to the end. Restaurant Derp in P8 after all his penalties and going into the pit lane. Smith Shah in P9. Vintage Player. Last of the point scorers in P10. Noble Garter got the fastest lap, but he's P11. No points for him there. Shrivats P12. Shah and Abhishek did not finish the race. Shrivats, I believe, will be classified because he finished more than 90% of the race distance. Now I'm about to invite URL Ethan Bifix and Rahul to the party to hear from them. They are our top three. And I cannot find I am Rahul. Yeah, there you go. So with that, we conclude the Brazilian Grand Prix. It's on to the podium interviews now. Where is the showroom? There you go. And I'm just going to change the audio mix to the party. There you go. While we wait for the top three, let's just get your initial views there. So we have Rahul with us. I believe he can speak with him. Raman, why don't you change that fact? I'd love to see you on track. You are the champion of last season. Rahul, hi, are you here? Who do we have with us? Vivek, is that you?
Ciao, 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 Bella.
Ciao, Bella. Ciao, Bella. We're waiting for Ethan to join. We are waiting for Rahul as well. He's in the party. Hi, Ethan. So, congratulations firstly to all three of you, Ethan, Vivek, and Rahul. Rahul, are you here?
Yes, boys, I'm here.
Hi, Rahul. Hi. It's P3 and P4 for the Mercedes team. It's P3 for you, but I think you'll be a bit upset with that, given that little moment at Junsao with Basil. But apart from that, just walk us through your race. How was it on track today?
It was good, kept out of trouble mostly. Couldn't keep in touch with the guys up ahead like VFX and Western obviously. But yeah, just try to keep it clean. Had some good battles with Basil and ended up on the podium. So yeah.
Do you think you had the pace to get close to those ahead? Like, because we saw some really close battles there. So I think at the restart it was Vintage who you had a pretty tough battle with. So without that, do you believe you would have been able to stick with these guys?
Yeah, I personally feel I would have been able to stick with them because even though they had a DRS train, they weren't really pulling away from me. And I just felt like if I were in their DRS, I don't know about winning the race, but I surely would have been in that group for sure.
Nonetheless, I think it's a podium. You can be happy with that. And if I'm not wrong, Rahul, this means that you and Suraj are now level on points. Because you've gained 3 points on him. So, congratulations. You two, I think, are in with a good shot for the constructors. But nonetheless, Rahul, very good performance by you. And well done. And a great quali session as well. That was a remarkable lap by you.
Thank you guys.
Now we move on to the Kick-Sauber driver, Vivek. Hello, Vivek.
Very reluctant Kick-Sauber driver.
It's P2.
Yeah.
How do you feel?
Just another race. I think, that medium tire, the stint pace was very rough. Even in my quali, I was struggling with the balance of the setup. I think I only got it clicked on when I pit for the hard tire because that was the first time in the race where I got to be alone. So got to experiment a few things for a couple of laps here and there. Certain corners do not slide as much. But yeah, that was a rough start to the race. And then the ending was good. Of course, would have loved to actually have a chance to overtake Ethan, but we were stuck in a DRS train. And Redstone got that penalty right in front of me. The slamming of the brakes was very, very key. I honestly thought that it was a glitch that you get because in qualifying, whenever I was entering the pits, I was getting speeding in the pit lane, even though I was crawling into it. So I thought that Redstone had a glitch, so he was fighting it out because he genuinely had that position. So, that's just how the game goes. And this game, I mean, it doesn't go very well.
But Vivek, we saw you involved in a lot of battles tonight. Just how was it getting to battle on these guys?
Yeah, I mean, it showed to me who's sensible and who's not. I mean, there's a guy battling me. He lost like 5 to 6 seconds because I don't know why you would like try to overtake a guy when you clearly plan to do an overcut. I in my head had already planned an undercut because I know how OP the undercut is. I think I was like 4 seconds behind Redstone when I pit, and without the unnecessary battling, I probably would have been ahead of him, even if I was like 3 seconds behind. And then that guy came out in like 6 seconds behind me at the pit stops. But then again, if I thought that the guy winning from 17th, going on to win from first is luck, then I don't really have much to say about what their opinions on racecraft is.
Well, nonetheless, well done. It's still a podium for you with 18 points from the race for you. Just a question: without did Noble being trying to unlap himself affect your race, and do you think that was something that possibly cost you a shot at the win?
I don't know about the shot at the win, but it did almost make me crash out because this game, in its ever glowing knowledge, doesn't give you the proximity arrows of lapped cars. So he just suddenly showed up there, and with how heated my tire was, I was probably gonna not brake properly and take out Ethan if I hadn't managed to stop the car. I had a big slide coming out of there. But yeah, that's definitely not unlapping yourself in a safe manner. He just went straight through my car, so I don't know what that was about. But I know Noble. He's not a dirty driver, so maybe this is just a moment.
I believe you two have been teammates as well the last season, so I'm, I don't know, maybe just trying to get the claim coming from the race, but nonetheless, Vivek, congratulations on P2 and well
Dunk.
done. And I think before we start talking to Ethan, I just want to point out that. Okay, wait, Ethan, are you here?
Yeah, I'm here. Yes,
You have become just the second driver in IRL to win from P14 on the grid. Were you in P14 or 13? Was it
314.
You were 14th, right? So you've become the second driver to win from 14th position on the grid.
Who was the first, if you
Massive
don't mind?
congratulations. I have no idea. It's just the stats table that shows up on the points table sheet. But
Fair enough.
very well done, Ethan. After I didn't even get to see you retire in qualifying. So just walk us through your whole race weekend. How was it? How was it on track? Your strategy call, your decision to stay out, wait for the safety car and such. Just how was it tonight?
Yeah, so win was definitely not on the cards after quali, just a rookie error on inters, cold inters, and I tried to take that fast right-hander flat out. Completely lost the rear end and went spinning into the wall. So yeah, that was kind of dumb from me. Starting P14, I decided to take the gamble and go for hards because I saw the others on mediums. And the first couple of corners were quite hectic, a lot of incidents, so I tried my best to keep it out of the wall, save my front wing. I think I got held up behind Vintage because on my screen he was lagging quite a bit. I attempted to overtake him, but we collided, but it wasn't too severe. Once I overtook him, there was a little bit of clean air, got to cool down my tires, and chase on after Baz and Rahul. I think they had an incident up front, and they were, I think, 2 seconds ahead of me. I was eking that gap slowly by slowly, and I saw everyone pit, and I was P1 at that point. And I think VFix had come out right behind Redstone, and his pace was looking strong as well. Um, Honestly, without the safety car, I wouldn't have won this race, genuinely. The safety car brought me this luck. As soon as the safety car came out, I went for the mediums, and I think, yeah, I definitely was struggling on the mediums. The pace wasn't there. I think VFix had much more pace behind me, but since we were in a DRS train, I think I managed to get that P1 position. So shout out to Redstone and VFix for that good battle.
I don't think you should give yourself as full credit. You were on track at the right part of the track at the right time. You could have chosen to pit a little earlier and just let go.
I mean, I'll just say this:
Yeah.
it's not racing; it's just luck. I don't care what they say. It's I whatever they say is just luck. Yeah.
Well, luck or not, it's a race win for you. So immense congratulations, and it's a very special spot I think that you find yourself in on the stats table. So well done, congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, just well done. I think
You
we
know, we'd have
can.
won from 17th if more people joined.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
we hope
true.
for more people next time out. I believe the next race is Vegas, is it?
Saudi Arabia.
Oh, it's Saudi, yeah. Next week is Saudi. Yeah, the week after that is Vegas, yeah, my bad. Okay. So it's gonna
Yeah.
align with the real calendar as well. So, I think we'll call it here. Thank you, viewers. Thank you for leaving your very interesting comments in the live chat. Thank you to all the drivers, all 14 of you. Congratulations once again, Ethan, Vipix, and Rahul. We shall see you next week at Saudi Arabia, Jeddah. Until then, thank you. Take care.